YouTube, what's going on? We're back with more of the First Descendant. We got Lepic out rocking his weapon melee build. You know, the Descendant modules that I have laid out here for this weapon, we're running the Hypernova in this particular run of the medium-sized Void Vessel, but it can go with any sword. It's absolutely ridiculous. Lepic with the traction grenade on an extremely low cooldown with the swords is extremely fun to use. I honestly love Lepic with the swords. The best Descendant so far with them that I can find, just because he's able to pull everybody into him and just destroy them all. So this is a great Hypernova build for the medium-sized Void Vessel. You guys are appreciating the content. You guys are liking the videos. Please feel free to turn on those notifications, sub to the channel, drop a like. Easy does it. Whoa, cowboy. Oh shit. Yo, really appreciate that, Island Boy. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Always grateful for that.
Such a useless thing.
Yeah, stay right here. Yep, come on. You know. Oh shit. Yeah, stay here. No damage, right? There we fucking go. Alright, this is my Lepic weapon melee build. Built up my Hypernova exclusively for the medium-sized Void Vessel. It's the same Descendant module setup that I would use for every single one of my weapons. The only unique thing is how you load up your modules within your weapon. This build is crazy. I absolutely love this. One of my favorite Lepic builds. I think he's honestly probably one of the best Descendants to run swords with because of the traction grenade. It's just unstoppable. It just feels unstoppable. The traction's back so quick because you don't need to utilize like crazy modules for skill power. Has us on an insanely quick loop for traction, and we can just burn them with the blazing zone and then hit them with the sword. It's honestly fantastic. You get some crazy clear times out of this. Is it his best build? No. Again, his skill build seems to do better clear times, but this is super fun to use. I can't stress how fun I like this build. This is like one of my go-to builds now. So to kick things off, again, we want duration and cooldown. This is everything to try and make sure that we're on a perfect loop for our traction grenade. It doesn't really matter about the fire skill or tech power. You just want to have that duration and cooldown on the bottom roll. It's nice to have obviously a fire and tech. That's all of his Lepic skills in case you're using a tech or you toss a grenade or just have that fire skill power boost. But again, not mandatory. Skill duration cooldown if you don't have the burning mechanics reactor to do so. We run this with the 4-piece Manus. Again, we want the melee weapon attack damage that it gives us at 6%. And again, we're generating Knight's willpower at 1 stack per second, and then we get 2 stacks on a normal melee attack, and then at 10 stacks we get a huge damage increase. 2 additional attack damage within our weapon. It also gives us a little bit of range on the normal attack as it's there. When it comes to the cores, I like to run this with the max HP and defense, again on all of my external components. When it comes to the rolled attributes, again, max shield, toxic resistance, defense, shield recovery in combat, chill resistance, MP, recovery in combat, max HP, fire resistance. Like, these are all fantastic rolls. If you have something that like lesser value or not, that doesn't really matter. Just try to do your best to get as much HP support, elemental resistance support as you can. Try to bring back your shields, defense, all that stuff is all good. So as you can see, this build is extremely tanky, and I absolutely love it. So We're running around on almost 20,000 shields on 100, 20,000 health with 100,000 shield. You're just right up in everybody's face. They can't do anything about it, and you're just laying waste to everybody in front of you. You can just sit there and tank them all. It's just that crazy. It's just that easy. When it comes to the Arche Tuning, again, for this particular weapon on the Hypernova, it's a crit weapon. We respect heavily into the critical hit damage and critical hit rates, and then we're just trying to get as much as the melee weapon attack power that we can possibly get out of the Arche Tuning. When it comes to the Inversion Reinforcements, again, melee weapon hit, you get the blade trajectory correction, melee weapon attack, 2.6% for 15 seconds up to 10 stacks. So again, that's like 20% additional melee attack damage. Great. Run this with this recovery module. Again, this synergizes well with our fellow. We have the HP fellow. Again, we're just constantly regenerating HP every 30 seconds. Great for survivability on top of all the defense that we're running. And then we run this with the blade extension. When landing a melee weapon critical hit, that's what we're spec'd into. We get additional range and melee weapon critical hit damage for 30 seconds up to 5 stacks. So very nice bump in the critical hit damage for this particular build with the Hypernova. Over why it's critical hit based, it just naturally has it in it. So Descendant modules, these are the modules that I like to run with the swords. Again, the weapon build, the weapons just aren't cutting it. His I believe it's his power unit charge just doesn't generate enough firearm damage for it, so the swords are a great supplement. Like, it just really works well with Lepic. So I just use the swords when it comes to Lepic. I don't really use a firearm anymore with him. We run this with the Blazing Zone. Again, you want this in double gold so the continuous damage can be up, obviously, within the Blazing Zone. And then the spawn rate, we have it at 96%, which is my highest one that I currently have for my trigger module. Again, double gold is what we're after. And again, you just want the highest spawn rate that you could possibly get out of it. When it comes to the the overall modules, again, you got your mid-air maneuvering. This is just standard. Just get the extra module capacity within that. And I run this with the Transcendent module, regenerative braking. Again, the chance to recover MP when using a skill, so we're just tossing down our traction. At least we're able to gain that MP back while using the skill. So as over here, it's on a very low cooldown. MP recovery chance at 17% at 12% of our max HP. So again, you don't really need the mana, but we need our traction grenade, so it's just something nice to have in there. There's no other Transcendent modules that are going to directly benefit your melee weapon attack. So all of these just benefit either firearm and skill. None of them actually benefit melee. So I tested, was looking at them. Either you can run this empty or run it with regenerative braking. Obviously, I don't know why you would just run it empty when you can at least keep regenerating some of the mana back. So when it comes to the Ancestor module, skill cooldown, rage, HP. Obviously, if you can get these in higher tiers, that's exactly what we want. The more range we have, the more range our traction has to be able to pull enemies in. We've got the HPs for survivability. Again, these are all good things, defense, range, but this is exactly what I would want to carry. Obviously, the negative slot can go, but if I had these in, double, the skill range in purple, max HP in purple, it would be honestly, that would be something really, that'd be something nice. There are definitely gains to be had within it. I do have a fire one, but it's useless because we're not using skill. So the more skill cooldown, the better, and I'll show you why in a second. So to couple that, we have our nimble fingers. for more skill cooldown, and our MP conversion. So we've got a lot of skill cooldown within the build. We've got our skill expansion, again, lots of range. We've got our duration. We want to be, we want our traction grenade to be pulling them in as long as possible. So again, don't have to worry about skill power. So again, we can run maximize ranged and the expansion together. We do take the hit on the skill power, but it doesn't matter. This is again a melee weapon build, so we're good there. It's the same thing with the skill power modifier down on the duration. As long as we have a lot of duration, we're laughing. So again, we run the skill extension, maximize duration, skill expansion, maximize range, nimble fingers, MP conversion for the cooldowns, and then we've got some skill cost decrease in there just to help with, again, mana consumption. For the traction grenade, we've got the maximized conservation, and then we've got 2 survivability modules with the stim accelerant and increased defense. That's a lot of survivability in this. We do use a tow ability, so there is another option that you can run with it. I honestly haven't tried surging gravity. When using a tow skill, increases your fire skill power boost ratio. You could pull that in. Again, your blazing zone will benefit from it, but again, we're not, with all the skill power modifier decreases, it's not really worth it. I went for maximized survivability. There's no other mods in here that are going to generate melee weapon attack. Even the new ones require you to lean on the defense side. I don't have a crit one. So those are my modules as a whole. Fantastic. Oh, sorry, and I'll just go over that. So again, as you can see now, the most important thing is to have the cooldown and the duration. We've got a 2.8 second cooldown with a 3.7 second duration, so we can just constantly put these guys into the fire, pull them in, and just completely destroy them with the swords. So that's why we run it with the duration and the cooldown, so we're able to just spam as much as we can with the traction grenade. Again, just because my cooldown is really much lower than the duration, we'll probably work something out to try and find some additional skill cost reduction. MP conservation, you can get the strong mentality in here somewhere. You can actually probably just pull this out from your survivability, and you would have further skill cost reduction if you're finding that your mana was burning through quick. When it comes to the Hypernova, so I guess we'll go over the unique abilities first. So again, you just throw it down and it creates the emitter field. It's more like a tow on the enemy, and then the more special weapon gauge that you have, the larger the explosion will be and the greater damage that it'll do. So again, we got some additional melee damage. We got some range on there. Again, the emitter field, this is when we toss it and it spins. This is what helps destroy all the shields as well of the enemies within the the void vessel. Just some damage radius, and as you can see, the damage increases from the supernova explosion, melee weapon damage, the array, the range on it, and the special attack gauge again just lowers its consumption, and then one maintains. So we were able to get it back fairly quickly. And again, you kind of want it to be as full as possible, so you get as much of the supernova explosion damage as you can to just kind of nuke everybody that's kind of caught up in it. That's the crux. So when you see it leaving and it explodes, it'll just boom, and it'll just melt everybody that's been towed into it, plus the tow that you have going on with your traction grenade. Synergies there with that. The modules, as you can see, we run this with melee weapon attack. We got a couple of chills in there. We got some critical hit rate and damage. This is a crit weapon. We've got our weapon critical hit rates on there. Some chill attack on the bottom with some melee weapon attack for the other attributes, or the lower attributes that we can roll for. Comes to the module on this, I just want to refer to the critical hit rate. As you can see, we're up at 70% with the critical hit damage, almost at three times that. So a very high critical hit rate. It just kind of rolls natively within within this weapon, so it's not very hard to get this critical hit rate up, you know, that high. So it's critting a lot, So I built this out chill. This is obviously the Hypernova. It's a chill weapon. We built it into crit, so better insight, better concentration. We've got our lethal swing to help with some critical hit damage and some range. With our sword dance for some more critical hit rates. We've got our, you know, faster attack speed for just being able to slash and, you know, cut as quickly as we can. We've got the increased range on our melee weapon attack, so range is nice. Then we've just got our straight melee weapon attack modules and hardened reinforcement and insightful strike. Now when it comes to the special modules, again, I like running this with the defense master. You can run this again with a you know, another type of damage module, like execution would be a great one if you want to get more damage out of the slash. Again, if you're not looking for the survivability, the execution is a great substitute for it. And we run this with the Veiled Analyzer. So again, on successful attack, all attributes attack at an additional 19% for 5 seconds, attacking the void shields. Again, this is why I run this with the medium-sized vessel. The additional attack damage is equal to 50% of the melee attack. Attacking Arche shields with the melee weapon deals additional damage to 50% of the melee attack. So anytime they're in a shield, they're getting hit. The final boss is got you know, that shield on them. So when we attack the shield directly, we're getting all these benefits, you know, additional damage to be able to apply to them. And again, this boss is kind of tanky at the end, so we have the defense master. If you think this was way too much survivability, again, you can run some execution on there. More attack out of the build. So there's definitely more attack that can be done, which means that, you know, there could be better clear times to have if you guys decide to run it. Again, I'm like defensively heavy because I know the boss at the end of the medium void vessel is a little bit of a pain. He's got some quick attacks, so having the extra defense I feel was beneficial to this. But those are gains that can be had. That's my build. I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, Lepic with this Descendant module setup, where just tons of traction. Grenade, having to be able to loop that fully is absolutely insane. He's an absolute killer with this. Again, this Hypernova is for the medium void vessel. His best weapon right now that I've tried so far is the Shadow. With this, I absolutely love that weapon. But again, I hope you guys give this a try. It's a great, you know, weapon built to run with Lepic if you're looking for something different to clear some medium void vessels. Enjoy.